Why, hello there, red and giant pandas alike. Shams Nelson here from Pen and Blade. And there's a distracting little ant crawling on my iPad. Today we are going to draw in the Fantastic Anatomy style, and something that apparently I don't do very often is go to show you guys how to take it from the basic layout to a more finished drawing. And I'm just going to do it the way that I kind of like to do it. And then I'd like to hear your feedback because John, what was it, Rices or something? Sorry if I said your name wrong. Was telling me that, yeah, I have a lot of videos on how to do the basic layout, but I don't have very many on how to take it to the next step. And one of the reasons that's the case is because you have to kind of choose a style at that point. The layout is just, the style doesn't really matter that much. I guess that could be argued, but once you've got the layout down, so you know what, I'll do one that I feel pretty comfortable with, and let's draw ourselves a dwarf. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of do this how I would do it, and I'm doing it more messy than I probably would in a tutorial, but you know what, actually I should. But I'm just so I'm just gonna go through this pretty quickly, and then I'll do more of a tutorial on the next part. So let me actually make the nose a little bigger. This is the part I talk about more in all the videos, how to get the right angles, and I think it's also because it's the more important part. But actually, can you say it's the more important part? Well, I feel like if you get this part wrong, then the next part, I always kind of feel like the next part's the easier part, because you can do it in any kind of style. There's no real wrong answer as long as you have the layout properly. So this is kind of where I would stop the tutorial in a lot of my other videos. Okay, so in this video, this is where we shall begin. So at this point, I've got my dwarf. Next thing I usually will do is put in the eyeballs. Sometimes so I'm gonna put the eyeballs there and decide what kind of, and also decide where he's looking and what kind of expression to give him. So if I want him looking straight on, it's easier to place the pupils now before you put the eyelids, because then you can decide, do you want him angry or do you want him surprised? See what I'm saying? So another thing that John mentioned is how to make expressive faces after you've done that. So here's some tips on that. All right. And this is all kind of, I'm trying to build up, and if you didn't see the video before, a Udemy course that's a kind of more like very structured, higher production value, and comprehensive way to draw the face from front view. I think I'm just going to stick with the face from front view for the first video for fantasy faces. So I'm going to make this guy a little bit grumpy. Let's just continue on. See, this is the thing. Each little detail you could go on about for a while, and that's another reason why I don't do it in my videos, because one, I don't feel that as confident talking on it, and two, there's so many variations on each little section. So you know what, let's leave the eyes like that for now. And I like to put the eyebrows in because they give a more, they give a lot of, it's going to tell the expression. So instead of making him super angry, I'm going to raise one eyebrow up like that. See, I got both eyebrows down like that, making an angry face pretty easy if you just do that, and then kind of make sure that the eye's not too far low. So eyebrow should be almost coming over the eye. If he's really angry, it might even cover. Here, let's go ahead and do that. It may even cover, see, the upper eyelid. Okay, and feel free to try to push it, make it crazier, and then you can always make it less crazy later on. When you're learning, I think it's better to go crazy. Alright, so we got something like that. And then you're going to add a little upper lid. And so for females, it's different. You're going to make the upper lash thicker. So maybe I'll draw a female one in the next video or at the end of this one. This one's probably going to be long enough with just this guy, so I'll probably save that for another video. For a guy, you don't want to go all the way around, but for a woman, you might. So here's a little idea of like a more feminine eye. See, the top lash is thicker. You're going to have one thing like that, and the eyebrows are higher up. Versus a guy, you're not going to emphasize as much. You're probably not even going to emphasize the bottom. You have the lid, the crease probably down here and up here maybe, and then lower, thicker eyebrow. So I don't know if that's the most masculine eye, but whatever. I think the principles are correct. I guess I could leave that up there. All right, so let's go to the nose. So usually I like to start with the nostril areas, and I'm kind of thinking of the structure like this in my head. And then I'm going to decide, okay, do I want to maybe make the nose not as upturned? So then I'll make that more shallow. Okay, and then, is the tip of the nose here. Do I want to do something with that, emphasize that? Usually I don't. Usually I'll just come in with some shadow. So here's the thing, like, I like to keep things really systematic, but at this point, when I'm starting to finish up the sketch, I'm not as systematic because I'll do some shadow. Like, if I was not trying to do a tutorial thing, I'd be jumping around from different, to different sections of the face, because it's easier to build up the section of the face. So here, put some shadow right here, and so you've got that. You can still see where the socket is from down there, and this is going to be like, a bag under the eye, but you don't have to emphasize it with a line there. You can if you want, but just keep in mind that that's another plane. So then you get into the different planes of all the different sections. So I guess I could just, yeah, that would be a good, there's, I guess I don't know why I have the idea that I should keep the video short and snappy and fun. It's not about fun. It's about drawing fantasy characters. It's very serious. So see what I did here? I make a kind of shape like this. Doot doot. And then you have a little shine. And you're going to shade in the other part like that. If you really want to get serious, under the top lid, there's a shadow. There's a slight shadow. And the shine's not going to be in that shadow area. So it'll go like that, and there's a shadow. So you can get details upon details, and then if you're to say like, well, the shine's not always there. Shine depends on where the light source is. You could have a square shine like this if there's some lights on the roof. Where do I draw the line? How much do I explain? I'd like to hear, these aren't rhetorical questions. I want to hear what you guys have to say in the comments below. I should have mentioned that at the beginning. I really want, this series of videos I'm doing about the Udemy course, I really would love to get feedback. That's kind of one of the main reasons I'm doing it. And as you guys give me feedback, I'll implement it, like what John said. Let me actually go look back at the comments, because, yeah, Jimmy mentioned another thing, but it was more about how the course is structured rather than the contents, and I replied to that, and it was good. It made me think about some good stuff. But I want to focus on getting the content good. So right here, probably give him a mustache, right? Some kind of facial hair, because he's a dwarf. I'm just going to do my simple one. I like to do these ones, it just looks cool. But you can do whatever you want. You could have it coming down like this and put some, something like that. Maybe he could have both. You know what? Let's do both. He's a fancy dwarf, and this is fantastic anatomy, and that sounds like a fantastic idea. All right, and then it's going to be about up at his upper lip. You could even have it hanging over, and then you don't even have to draw the lips. So, but basically for the lips, I would say you do that, and you have the bottom one like this, and you can shade the top lip a little bit if you want, but leave the bottom lip, leave these two sides. And there's a whole structure to this that goes kind of like that. Like there's a little lump of flesh right there. So, and then you got the chin coming down here. So let's say he shaved his beard, but he has a sick mustache. And let's say the mustache actually does something like this. Wow, that's hot. All right, and then this is still the sketch phase. So after this, you're gonna have to either paint it or ink it. And that's another thing. I'm not going to do it in the same thing. So I'm thinking in the course, I'm going to take it to a stage like this. What do you think, John and other viewers? I'm going to get you to a stage where you've done a sketch with some shading. All right, so let's put some shading. And the shading's always just going to be that top-down shading. We're going to keep it super simple. All right, because shading is a whole nother thing. And if you start to get like, okay, what if it's here? Then you're going to have to learn the face from 3/4 views, I think, or you're going to have to really understand the planes of the face to get it right. And I want to keep this beginner focused. So see, remember when we had these two lines? Maybe you wondered why they were there. Now you shade them in. Aha. And then actually this could be like that. So you might shade that in a little bit if you want. But that's a matter of choice. Sometimes you might want to leave it. That's a little bit of style. I'll put a little shade in there. Why not? Okay. This come down like that. And then we can do the ears. I just kind of You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know how to say it. Like, you have an ear, you just kind of keep doing this. And then you get to that, and then I don't do 3. That's too many. You see what I'm saying? So you experiment. Say 1, 2, and then that. That looks about right. You could even probably get away with just 1, and then that. A little more cartoony. And there is like a whole. So then, do I want to get into the thing where it's like these ears are going crazy? I feel like I'm getting dizzy doing this. Wait, I forget which way the ear is facing. Oh my gosh. There's like a little thing that goes like that. I don't know. How much detail to get into the ear? Keep it cartoony? I guess I would take a photo reference of an ear for that segment, for that video, and I do like a more detailed version, and I say, and here's how you can simplify it. And then, yeah, that doesn't sound too crazy. How does that sound? Okay. Then you shade that part in a little bit, shade that part in. It's going to be dark in there. It's going to be dark right in there. The little part sticking out, probably. You don't have to darken that. That looks good. All right, cool. And then also, do we need to give them clothing? Should we talk about that in it a little bit? I feel like you got to have some kind of clothing segment. But then I say, okay, how many outfits do I teach? You know, like, well, how do I draw the line? I guess you got to do hoods, and you got to do collared shirts. Okay, you guys help me out in the comments. Collared shirts, hoods, cloaks. So hood down and hood up, both of those. I don't know. I'm just making up an outfit here. I don't know why he just has random buttons. It's just the dwarvish style. I mean, look at his beard. He's clearly from a very cultural, a region of where dwarves are very, you know, like they're more bardic than the average dwarf. All right, so maybe even we're gonna give him some frills on his outfit. It's almost like a military outfit, but it's like a hippie. These are like the hippie dwarves. All right, how about that? That sounds cool. Great. So, but he still keeps it buttoned up because dwarves have some self-respect. So he's not gonna have his shirt buttoned all down. Like, they don't recognize that they're hippies. You know what I'm saying? They just think they're more cultured than the average dwarf. Maybe. Anyways, we're getting into some lore. That's not the point of this video. Can't help it though. I think it's good to make up characters as you're drawing because then it gives you ideas on what to draw, like the frills. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that should be. Oh, should that be part of the content? And what would that mean? It's like I guess I would just, as part of the methodology, I'd say as you're drawing these characters, you should be thinking about what they, what they would do in an average day, what their personalities are like, why they're wearing the way they're wearing. Like, what kind of person would grow a beard like, or a mustache like that? And why, for a dwarf, why doesn't he have a beard? You got to ask these questions because that's very strange for a dwarf. Dwarves should have beards. And then the answers you come up with might help you come up with cool and interesting character designs and ideas if you're playing a role-playing game or trying to come up with a novel or something like that. Okay, so we're getting close here. Another thing I'm not super confident about is the hair, but I think I should study that. But this guy, so basically I would say you got to get the hairline. Hairline is going to follow the eyebrows a little bit and then go up, and then it's going to be lower for men and higher for women. Lower hairline for men. So if you want to make your character more masculine, lower his hairline. More feminine, raise it. So I'm going to have him a fairly low hairline. And then I take these and I do it like each individual strand. You see? And then find the shape. Then go on the outside of what you did and outline that shape, because that's the most important part. Alright? And then you're going to have to shade a little bit so that this is the bottom of the hair. The bottom plane of the hair sticking out. It should come down a little bit, probably like that. Yeah, I should turn off Discord. It's probably going bloop bloop all the time in the background. All these chubs chattering. Chattering chubs. All right, and I think that's pretty much it. So let me erase this so you get an idea what it would look like. So would this be a good place to end, John and whoever else is watching this video? If the Udemy tutorial got you to draw to this stage, you know what I'm saying? Would that be enough? Or should I take it to the next stage where it would be, see, this is where I feel less confident. I could go into digital painting. That's a whole nother course. So I think it has to stop there. The other thing could be inking, but I don't know how confident I feel about that. Here, let's do a little inking. And I'll talk. I probably won't do the whole thing because inking will take longer, and it's a process. So I would zoom in, and let's say the eyes were say, okay, let's choose a darker color, and let's talk about which lines, linking is about which lines to emphasize and which lines not to. Okay, and I shouldn't be doing that sketchy thing. I should be kind of confident strokes, but for this one, I don't know, man. See, that's the thing. I'm not as confident with my inking skills. So I would think it would be better maybe just to leave it at a sketch. Or maybe I need to figure out an inking style. I'd feel more confident doing the digital painting. But again, that would have to be another course because that's a whole, you got to talk about color, and it's very reliant on the program you're using, so it'd have to be specific to Procreate, unless I did one that, well, you could take a lot of it and do it on Photoshop if you know what you're doing on Photoshop, but I wouldn't be able to explain each of the buttons and stuff like that. So what I'm doing here is I'm emphasizing certain lines, and it's like, why not put one here? I guess you could, why not put a line here? Yeah, you could do that too. So see, it's a lot about style, and that's why it's like, I don't know what to tell you, man. See, what if maybe I want to change it to be like that. I could have done it that way or this way. I guess I don't feel confident speaking on it because I don't feel confident doing it yet. You know what I mean? I'm getting there, but I'm not sure how to explain, aside from like you look at other artists you like, or you experiment, and then you come up with something you dig. See what I'm saying? And then what? There's also to consider a line weight. But I like to keep things like, I guess my personal style is not conducive to like what you would teach, because I kind of like, I hope I'm not just doing it as an excuse, but I kind of like a little bit of messiness where like the line weight gets thick and thin, but I do kind of try to control it somewhat. So yeah, no, I don't know, man. And see, most people, if you're going to ink, they'll say, do it like in one beautiful stroke, moving from the shoulder. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Do I want to have my... Yeah, maybe that is better. See, I don't know what to say. Alright, I think I'm rambling. I don't want to make this video longer than it needs to be, I suppose. But yeah, let me just get a little more done here, just so you can get an idea of what it would look inked. And then hopefully I can get some feedback on if you think I should include the inking section, or if it would be okay to stop with a sketch like we talked about, or maybe should I just add like one quick video where I'm like, look, inking's its own art, and each person's gonna have to find their own style, but here's a couple thoughts I have, and if you want to try out the style that I've been working with lately, then take it or leave it, buddy. And then that's it. That's what I say. Okay, let's just do this one out, and then I think I'm kind of rushing, but I think it's okay because I like to have a little bit of a rough inking style. See, I like the left eye more than the right eye, and the right eye was like, okay, how do I do this and that? I'm thinking more. The pupil's a little too big. Anyways, alright, I think that's going to be it for now. Does this look, that's lopsided? Ew. Hold on, I gotta fix this. And then when it comes out like that somehow. How does this even work? Well, I guess that's it. So yeah, let me know what you think. If you're stumbling upon this video and you haven't subscribed, subscribe to let me know so you can help me, if you want to help me out, developing this course, because that would be really helpful. And yeah. Peace, God bless, and stay fantastic, everyone. Oh, what are we gonna name this guy? Well, you have to let me know in the comments. Should I say my sign off again? I think I'm obliged to. I think I have signed the YouTube contract. So, peace, God bless, and stay fantastic, everyone.